Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first look at Kingdom. And, well, this is a game that just came out today, so I'm just having a quick look at it, and this is sort of the kind of basic village that I've started doing here, just to kind of give you an idea of what it might look like. So, from the outset, Kingdom is a roguelike, but it's a sort of strategy roguelike, with tower defense elements. See, during the daytime, which lasts about 2 to 3 minutes, it's not very long at all, you have the option of building up your base, and upgrading your defenses and all of that, because you really don't want to do that at night. Yes, as you might expect, if you've played games like Terraria, if you've played games like Minecraft, or if you played any other game with survival elements, you'll know that nighttime is pretty much the worst time to do anything at all. So, what is this game? You start off as an unknown ruler. Yes, I know those two things don't quite go together, but you start off with a person that has a crown, so of course they're a ruler of some kind, but they're completely unknown in this world. In fact, to be honest, you are actually the villain in this case. You are the invader. So, you start off with a little village, and you build a camp, and you hire people that are around to be part of your village, and your job is to look after them. And if you do a good job of that, they give you coins, which is your main resource. There are no other resources in this game other than coins. So by paying for things, for example, if I want this tree cut down, there we go, that's marked, and then one of my builders will come along and do that. These bowmen over here, or archers, double up as hunters, so during the day they'll hunt rabbits and deer and all of that stuff to get you some coins, and then they'll pay you as you go along, which is all well and good. But at night time, which is coming up now, they become your main defenders. But interestingly, nobody seems to die in this game. It is nighttime now, you can hear the crickets going. Nobody really dies in this game. They just sort of have everything taken away from them. So by equipping them, which you can do by going over here, we can hold down the down key to pay the, I guess you call him a fletcher, or a bow maker of some kind, and he will put bows out there for them to take. So a standard villager can become a builder or an archer by simply paying one of these salesmen to make one of the tools that you can use. And there are more that come along. You also get access to farms much later, but I haven't started doing that yet. And you get access to siege engines of all kinds as well. So now that it's nighttime, you can see the torches are all lit, and these guys are now safely behind the walls, and they're getting ready to defend. The builders, on the other hand, will... Thank you, man. It will kind of try to repair everything as they go along. Oh, and there's our enemy. These little hooded things, they're not actually particularly dangerous to life, but what they do is they steal things. So if there's any objects on the ground, like coins or equipment, they'll sort of steal it. It's not very nice of them to do, but they do that anyway. And if they come into contact with you, you drop a coin until you have nothing left. And then they'll attempt to steal your crown. If they steal your crown, the game is over. It's as simple as that. However, the villagers will have whatever equipment they're carrying taken away from them, and then they become a normal villager. If they've been hit again, then they... well, you lose control over them, and you have to pay them again. So, let's try recruiting some villagers now. We've got a fair amount of money now. So there are these camps that spawn in the villages. If we cut down all the trees here, they don't spawn again. So that's not quite nice. There we go. That guy is now in part of our village. We get another one. And we can probably look at doing some upgrades now. So let's grab another bow. And let's get another builder. So the builders are also engineers. When it comes to building your defenses, they're the ones who do that. When it comes to destroying things, they're the ones who do that too. But interestingly, when you get when you start getting siege engines, they're the ones who reload them as well. So you don't want to have too few of them, but you don't want too many very early on. So we can probably start building our defenses a little bit further out. Now, this game does have a certain exploration element to it, so I'm going to show you a little bit of that. We head off into the dark forest. Now, we can't gallop for too long, the horse will get tired. So, all of this area is free for us to expand. Now, we can probably grab another villager, why not? We can keep going along. And eventually you'll probably reach the portal where the enemies spawn, and going too close to it will spawn one, no matter which time of day it is. So that's not particularly pleasant. In fact, that's the first way I died playing this game. There's something very relaxing about this game, though, because you only play this with the arrow keys. You don't use anything else. Also, you might notice there is a control area. So this rock here is the foundation normally for a watchtower, but I can't actually build anything on it yet because I haven't expanded that far yet. So you do have to actually expand properly. You can't just prop down defenses wherever you want. These little mounds here are where you build walls. So ideally you want those to be quite close to each other. But it's not entirely necessary. Now let's just head over this way. We've got some very ominous sounding music playing at the moment. I don't know why I just dropped a coin there into the water, but... yeah, it's coming up to nighttime, so we best make sure that our defenses are up to scratch. So... got plenty of coins here. I think, yeah, so we do have a limit of how much we can carry at once. Not a good idea to kind of let it overflow because, well, you do end up dropping them. So we've got a red moon now. And scary music. Now I must stress that everything in this game is randomly generated. So the locations of defenses, camps, treasure, random encounters, all of that is randomly generated. Even the character you play. For example, I'm playing as this lady on a horse right now, and that was randomly generated. Her skin color, her clothing, and her hair color is also randomly generated. But I think the horse color might actually be the same all the way through. So, the red moon seemed to pass, and I don't... oh, there we go. Yep, no, they've gotten through. And they're stealing our hammers. Now, the ones that have already stolen things aren't actually a threat to us. It's those that are still... free to do things that are dangerous to us. Doesn't appear to be a lot that we can actually do about that guy right now. Okay, so we've lost a fair amount of our villagers, I think. We might have. I think that's the thing that's happened. So, of course, the villagers can just pick up equipment off the ground. So we do not need to spend money re-equipping them. However, it's probably a good idea to do that anyway. If they have sort of run out. That's a fair amount of them that actually went. I think these were all of our bowmen, actually. Now, I do have a couple of issues with the controls. Like, what you've just seen there is a villager picking up coins when he wasn't supposed to. So, that gets a little bit annoying. So let's re-equip these guys, because we have lost a few of these. And we do need a couple of more builders. But everything seems to have a sort of progressive stage. You can just start sort of building up things as you go along. In fact, the more you build, the more expensive things start getting. So that is a thing to bear in mind there. Looks like we need... no, we don't need another bow. He can go and get that one. And let's grab that as well, so we can kind of upgrade our defenses a little bit more. The taller towers let them shoot more directly at enemies instead of having to arc them, meaning that their rate of fire goes up, and so on. So everything does have its have a point to it. Now, there is one more thing as well, and it is quite curious that it's this far away. Let's get the coins, we need those. So you do want to get as many villages as you can and equip them correctly, because they are your main source of defense. And that is a portal over there. And that's not what I was looking for. In fact, the thing I'm looking for doesn't appear to be here, which is a little bit strange. So there is a building in the forest which controls your technology. So right now we have wood, and we can't seem to upgrade that. But the next level after that, of course, is stone. So you can start getting stone walls and stone towers, which do cost a bit more. They definitely cost a bit more. But doing so will allow you to have much stronger defenses than these wooden walls that we have right now. Another thing as well is upgrading our main camp here, so that will give us a slightly stronger defense as well. That seems like all we can do for tonight, because we don't want to start constructing things at night. Now, one thing that happens as well is when you start constructing something, it becomes basically invisible to the enemy. They can pass right through it without any issues whatsoever. So, you don't want to do that at night. It's also worth noting that you don't have direct control over any of these guys. They will do whatever you assign them to do at their own pace. So a little bit of planning ahead is quite necessary. But there is just something to this game. Like, it's pixel art, yes. And I know that's going to be kind of down to personal preference in a really big way. So for me, I'm kind of neutral towards pixel art, and I think this is one of the more pretty pixel art games, actually. I mean, look at the water reflections. And look at the detail and everything. It is actually very well drawn. So for me, this is something that I quite like. But I get that not everyone is a fan of the sort of pixel art style, and that's fair enough. But as far as games go, I found myself to be playing this quite a lot. It is actually very addictive. And I think that comes down mainly to how simple it is to play. There is basically only the arrow keys and one resource, yet there's so much depth to it that you can go. It's kind of like those cow clicker games on mobile, where you just upgrade endlessly until you've got the sort of top level of everything, and you've expanded beyond your borders. But in this, it just seems to continue going on, and there is an actual impetus to continue going on. Because there is a story to this, and it's only revealed as you progress throughout the game. It is actually part of the actual game, rather than being sort of cutscenes and all that. It's up to you to explore and make your own interpretations, which is something that I really like. Let's see if we can upgrade the main base a little bit more. Now, I would have waited much longer to start doing this video, but there doesn't seem to be much point to waiting, because even at the very early stage, you can already see what the core gameplay is. I mean, it is a tower defense game, don't get me wrong, there is no way to obscure that. It is a tower defense game. But it's a tower defense game which has actual heart and character to it, that is also both stressful and relaxing to play. And I say that mainly because the actual attacks at night can get quite frantic, but playing this is, well, quite cathartic, actually. It just seems like something you can casually play in the background, and before you know it, 3 hours are gone. Which, to me, anyway, makes this a pretty good game. Of course, if you're the sort of person that values your time, please avoid it like the plague. Just avoid it, because this is going to suck up a lot of your time. And in fact, on pretty much as soon as I got it, I've already put close to 6 hours into this. So that kind of tells you all you need to know about how much of a time sink this could be. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Panzer taking a look at Kingdom. It's now available on Steam for $10 or your regional equivalent currency. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you have enjoyed the video. And I just ran into an enemy right there. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.